All right, we are live. And hello, everyone. This is Daily from Healing Heart Reiki. And today I'm here for a Tuesday live with Vicchi Oleski, who is the curator of Embodied Spirit Work. She is an amazing, amazing human being that I have known for, I don't know, like what, 10 years now, off and on. And I am just really pleased that you're joining us today inside of this group to share a little bit of your perspective and spirit. So Vicchi, can you share with us maybe what does embodied spirit work kind of mean? Like, what is it that your work is about? What do you do?
Well, I really work with individuals, mostly women, who
Mhm.
are struggling or think they're struggling or are looking for a different perspective on leading from their heart and being connected to an inner calling. A lot of uh, embodied spirit work came to me. I didn't really like it. It was like, no. And then I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna have to do this. Like naming the work. It felt like putting things in a box.
Yep.
Spirit is not about working working in a box. It's about, taking the box and, do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Um, so that's how it came to me. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing body work since 1970,
Mhm.
and I love a lot of what had happened over the number of years. I kept on looking and listening and going, oh, this is really about an embodiment
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
and how to embody, and how to embody. It's like, what does this all mean? you
Yeah.
know and what does it mean to me means differently to other people. So it's about listening to um who's in front of you, who's inside of you, and how to move with that energy of purpose.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautifully said. And I totally relate to you were kind of saying, oh, this name came and didn't want to name it that. I didn't want to be tamped down or put in a box with it. And I know the same thing happened with me with Healing Heart Reiki. And it just makes me think that for so many of us that are on this path, like you are living the spirit-led path,
Mhm.
right? Like we're really following spirit. Sometimes it's not comfortable, or sometimes we're actually called to do the very work that we may even struggle with the most. So I thought it was really fascinating when you mentioned to me the retreat, the Embody Purpose retreat that's happening this month. And you invited me to be a part of it with you.
That's excited.
And the subheader of that, this spirit-led path for the 21st century. There's so much going on these days. And thinking even of just the challenges of a spirit-led path, what inspired you to put this retreat together at this time?
Great question, Daly. I'm so glad we're together again.
Yeah.
Um, it's been just a delight uh, meeting you and how we met over at the Flying Goat building. But
Yes.
what inspired me is that I in September took a trip back to be with my family, and it was a 2 month trip that turned into taking 6 months. 6 months, it's like
Ah,
football. You got 3 minutes left in the game, but the 3 minutes takes about 2 hours.
yeah. Yeah.
And
I went through that with basketball with my kid last weekend, so I'm actually like, yep, I know.
and it's a nail biter the entire time,
Yeah.
Um, so when I was back in Phoenixville, an amazing town, and the last, I'd say from mid-December on, I really realized that I had taken myself on a retreat, a personal retreat,
Mm,
and it was amazing. It's still unfolding, But while I was back there and knowing I was coming back to Sonoma County,
Mm.
um, I haven't done a public or hosted anything public since December of 2019.
Mm. Okay.
And yeah, we all know.
Yeah.
And what inspired me was this, you know, fire, this burning desire to bring forward what I've been living.
Mm. Mm.
So,
Yeah.
like, I think it's all a secret. I think we all feel like we're our best kept secret
Hmm.
because we're diamonds and we're in there polishing. So I just thought, okay, well, I'm going to do an open house. And no, I'm going to, no, I'm going to just have a party. And I was like, no. The other thing that came to me was embody purpose.
Yeah.
And I was like, those words, I love playing with words. And I went, okay, here we go again. So then I connected with you, and Deborah and I have been talking, all of the entire 6 months that I was back there. And I went, yeah, let's put this event together
Yeah.
because it's so needed. Um, why I feel like it is needed is that there's this mirroring,
Mm.
modeling that goes on for all of us.
Yeah.
And I think it could look like a fun house or a haunted house, but it's like the light reflecting and refracting. And I don't
Yeah.
want to get too out there because it's really about embodying and being practical with our magic,
Hmm.
with ourselves,
Yeah.
and what is glowing and lives inside, which is actually way more important than external.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're talking about that, it actually makes like related, very related, not exactly the same, but it makes me think of something that I listened to last week that was about mirror neurons in our brains, and that
Yeah.
humans have like we actually have these particular neurons that when we're around people we will entrain with them. So if someone yawns and stretches, we naturally start to find ourselves yawning as well, and that's because of these neurons that literally their job is to mimic others in community, people that we resonate with, and upgrade, up level through that. And it's like something about what you were saying. I see even beyond that, like the complementary nature,
Hmm.
right? Like we're all part of this rainbow contributing. But after being isolated for so long, for so many people, and even people who were out and about, like the world has been kind of a strange place
Hmm.
the past few years as we rework our values as countries and as societies and as people. It feels like we need that, exactly that, like the mirroring space with people that are have high mind and love.
Of high mind, not hive mind, but high mind.
Yes.
Yeah, hive mind is not a bad thing, and I mean that in such a sincere way because, you know, um, doing our work in West County for all those years, it was a hive mind, and, you know, the bees, we need to be of hive mind.
Yeah.
Where I'm going with this is also what I wanted to say about that mirroring modeling is that it's not only for one another and ourselves, it's an inner reflection, an inner
Mm.
anchoring and an inner modeling
Yeah.
that I think I'll just say I have been so tested with that
Mm-hmm.
uh, since the lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
that I think that that has brought me back into a calmer, more peaceful, centered, grounded place that uh, now I understand more of the inner outer reflection, not just the inner reflection. You
Yeah.
know, that can kind of get bouncy and,
Yes. Well,
all get you
and
all
that's part of the
wobbly.
reason, yeah, like my mom is visiting, I mentioned to you, and my mother, and that's
Mm,
part of the reason that she's here. Like through the pandemic, I first loved the isolation and the chance to just do so much sort of internal exploration and work. And then I started to realize that in doing that, I was just like disconnecting all of the important connectors to community consciousness. And I found that having my mother come to visit has been like, it's again resonating into the other. And then
uh,
that allows for more balance so that that inner process doesn't get wonky, right? It's just
wow.
been lovely to have someone just proximal in the space outside of like my child. Like I have, my kid, but I think as women or even as adults, like we need other adults from different age brackets,
Mhm.
and we need that like full community cycle, right? Of like the
Right.
ages and the experiences, and not just daily with a whole bunch of healer people or daily with a whole bunch of kids. And um, but yeah, I feel like all of it is so rich, and I don't want us to get too much off of track. So this
Well,
retreat, that's
how
Mhm.
nice that it was your mother.
What was that?
I said, how nice it was that it was your mother.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
that first connection, that first,
yes,
like she brought you in, she
uh-huh.
let you go, you know,
Yeah,
she had to let go, and how nice that it was your mom that,
bringing me
was,
back.
yeah, that's so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's kind of deep. It's very deep.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother, maybe that's a Mother's Day live or something. But but yeah, so the retreat, I personally like I just you and me and Deborah
Mhm.
have all been meeting, and the three of us, just for everybody who's listening, the three of us are going to be sort of creating this beautiful space for this retreat on May 20th in Santa Rosa, California. It's an in-person retreat. So those of you who have been hanging out with me, I also have not done a lot of in-person. I've been very selective and far and few between with what I've hosted. And so this space, the three of us will be coming together to share many of the tools that we've cultivated over 20, 30, 35, probably a cumulative over 100 years between the three of us of experience. And
Yeah.
so this is going to be a wonderful time. And it's not just sitting and listening to talking. There will be some talks, but there will also be like healing, transformational work, some real tools that you can take back into your lives and work with again and again over the year, over the seasons, and hone that spirit led path. So, Vicki, I have kind of just a couple of final questions. Like, how do you feel like, what do you imagine, what will the space look like and feel like for people that have never been to your hosting space? Can you just share a little briefly about like what it looks like, how you come into it, that kind of thing?
Oh, sure. The practical elements of the I'm recall I renamed this whole space. I have a work live loft, artsy loft in historic Railroad Square. I know.
So cool. Yeah.
Like I just love sharing.
Yeah.
I love sharing to an extent, you know.
Well,
Okay. But,
boundaries, healthy
yeah,
boundaries.
when I'm in the mood, which is most of the time, I love sharing. I love creating beautifully feeling spaces.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a home that I've been in and a work studio that I've been in for 8 years. Um, it's, I also, given that I was away for 6 months and came back and was like, woohoo, I have recalibrated or reassessed and recalibrated. So the Golden Eagle Retreat, which is my home now, the studio space is on the second floor. So when you come, uh, there's a first floor, nice foyer, and then you go up to the second floor, very, very well lit. Right now, I've got the windows behind me closed because I'm here on Zoom. But many times, and the event is from 1 to 5. There's shards of light for sure that come
Yeah.
through the second floor. It fills up the space with a lot of light. So that's, in my most practical terms, what the space looks like and feels like. Um,
It
what,
feels really great to be there. I'm looking forward to just hanging out in the space for the afternoon. And
yeah,
it's like intimate, but not overly intimate. It's like the perfect level of just being welcomed and comfortable and yeah. I love
I like to think of it as like boutique,
Mhm.
like a handful or more of people that has some good space. There's a balcony that, it's sittable. Um, the other part of the event, or coming, is that I'll just say it this way: the three of us are very likable people,
Yeah.
and I find it easy to be around people most times, especially in an event like this. So it's very inviting and inspirational. Like, after our meeting yesterday, just kind of like got vertical because the three of us getting together. Um,
All the energy. Yeah. It was like transmission on fire.
exactly.
Yeah. And I went
So,
home and I was like, "Ooh, I think I need nature and water." Yeah.
but I think we were actually talking about it yesterday too during our meeting. Is that it's not only what I can imagine through the workshop or the retreats. This is one that's going to happen every 3 to 4 months here. Um, is that it's not only uh, uh, how did I say it yesterday? It's not only that we're assimilating the information, we're also transmitting,
Yeah.
and that requires also listening
Yeah.
to who we're hosting.
Mhm.
And I bring that up because that is really the inspiration of having such a thing, is to host people, to listen, to be in community, to
Yeah.
collaborate, you know,
I love that.
connect, to really connect.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you're saying that, I'm just seeing the people coming into the space and like their transmission too. That this is going to be a really powerful space where we're all activating and bringing our own transmissions. Even for some people, I feel like there will be a couple of people there who've just never even done that before. They don't even know what that's about. And it will be new, but it will be opening for them. So, yeah, I'm so excited. So, this is May 20th, 19th. My timing is all off. I should pull up the listing and share it with everybody so everyone can see it. Let me see if I can do that.
It's it's Saturday,
Yes, it is on
May 20th.
Saturday. I literally was just looking at my calendar like all morning, and my numbers are a little bit. Whew, there's been so much energy. I've been finding that I have to make an extra effort this month to truly ground my energy, or it just doesn't. So, I'm
Yeah.
actually going to share my screen for anybody who's interested in joining us for this retreat, because I know that I have not yet set up any kind of direct or landing page from my website. So, you'll go to Vicchi Oleski's website. That is VicchiOleski.com. Notice the spelling of Vicchi's name is Vicchi. And then when you go to the website, look for Golden Eagle. Wait, is that right? No, events. Look for events. And then this embodied purpose is the first drop down. So you're just going to go there and it will bring you right to this event that we're talking about. And when you click on the more info and registration page, this is exactly where we're at. Like we'll be meeting on Saturday. That's literally like 2 weeks away. Um, and the price of this afternoon experience is really incredible. It's literally $55. Like sliding scale 55 down to 35. So it's pretty accessible for most people. And if you feel interested in coming and just sharing in this intimate space with myself and with Deborah, who we haven't even talked about yet, and we'll be talking to her soon, probably next week, and with Vicchi, and enjoying little tea, drinks of tea, and fresh waters, and um, just sharing our hearts and diving into some really beautiful embodiment work and getting kind of a taste of the type of really basic things you can do that will help you deepen into your path. Then register right here on the site. This is all you got to do. You fill out the info here, click submit. It will prompt you to make your donation, and then you will be in. And I would love to see you there. I'm sure Vicchi would love to see you there. And Vicchi, I just want to thank you again for this time that you've spent with us this morning. I would love to have you back on at some point to speak about even more of your work and just some of the incredible tools that you have. But for anybody who's really curious, come join us at the retreat. This is not something that happens often. And as Vicchi said, it will be happening again later this year. But this is the only time you'll be able to do it and take advantage of all of these May energies and pleasure energies and joy energies that we've been talking about. So,
Earthy, 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 earthy,
yeah, yes,
earthy, practical, embodied,
yes.
um, you know, Tarsierian
Relaxed,
beauty.
opening,
Yeah,
slowing,
yeah,
aligning, refreshing, embracing. Yeah. So if you're free on a Saturday, 2 weeks from now, join us and RSVP soon, like this week, because it will get full. So,
yeah. Daly, I want to just take a moment here and thank you so much. I
yeah.
am, I have felt an overwhelming emotional honor to be
Mm.
in your presence. I really have always since I met you. And so thank you so much for having me
Yes.
on this
Thank you.
platform and saying yes to the retreat. So feel very honored. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Well, we will catch you soon. I will be seeing you even sooner than everybody else here. And everyone, I look forward to seeing who pops up at this magical retreat with us. Okay, I will see you
Thanks
guys
so
soon.
much, everyone. Mwah.
Bye.
Namaste.